The Montgomery County Council has approved a 6-year fiscal plan that outlines the spending limits needed to achieve balanced annual budgets. This measure is the first of its kind, and it's designed to help reduce annual budget gaps and soften the blow of severe economic downturns like the one most recently experienced by the county.
What we've done is put together in a rather, I hope, a clear document our financial projections for the next 6 years, how we anticipate, based on the policies we've adopted today and some other ones that have been in place, how we anticipate meeting some of our ongoing obligations, retiree health insurance, some of the bookkeeping things that, frankly, we have put to one side in the course of this recession, putting them back into play, and then doing the math and showing what that leaves for us to spend on services and programs. We've never done this before. It's really a historic first for the County Council. Historically, the County Executive has sent over a budget proposal that has the implications of this in a 6-year plan. But under the charter, we're supposed to adopt it, and we've never adopted the 6-year part of the budget. We've just adopted an annual operating budget and a 6-year capital budget. So we've added a new twist to the budget decisions.
The council has also approved measures that would gradually increase the county reserve to 10% of adjusted government revenue over a 9-year period. The current county reserve target is 6% of total resources.
This is really an opportunity to set some guidelines about how we make decisions down the road. Again, remembering that this is nothing more than a fiscal snapshot that's based on assumptions that can change, but it gives us a sense, agency to agency, of really what spending could potentially look like. Obviously, it does put some constraints on us with the numbers that are in the FY11 through 16 plan that we adopted through the resolution. It's apparent that down the road, especially in the next year and the year after that, that we are going to have no wiggle room at all in terms of our spending patterns, and that's going to mean business gets done very differently here in Montgomery County.
The 6-year plan is a snapshot in time that reflects current assumptions for county revenues and fiscal policy. Using these assumptions, the plan achieves balance by limiting the future expenditures of the county's 4 agencies: the schools, Montgomery College, Park and Planning, and county government.
Basically, it's a roadmap for spending in the future that ought to, we hope, eliminate incorrect expectations as to what's going to be available, how big the pie will be, and how it will be split. For example, and this is a biggie, for next year, we anticipate, based on all these factors, that we're going to have a flat budget. 0.1% additional dollars will be available for spending. That's really close to nothing. So for agencies, for stakeholders, for employees, everyone can take a look at that and say, we need to start worrying about that now. Certainly the council is, and we're bringing everybody into the fold. This is our future. Let's figure out a way through it.
It would seem to me that this is a useful exercise because it helps us really assist the general public so that they get a better sense of where we are with revenues and where we are going to be with spending. I think it's going to be particularly critical in some of the conversations that we have with the school system as well as with the public service employee unions who really have been hesitant to look at the numbers, the projections. And again, remember, as I said moments ago, this is really based on assumptions that can change, but we've got to have a starting point. And again, this, as the council president said, is a step forward, and it gets us thinking about things a little differently.
The purpose of the Purple Line functional plan is to identify the alignment and station locations for the proposed 16-mile light rail line. An east-west connector for Montgomery and Prince George's counties, the Purple Line has been under study since 1992. The Planning Board has made its recommendations for the Purple Line, and now the functional plan is in the hands of the Transportation and Environment Committee. The Purple Line is the next generation of transit here in Maryland and will support a more sustainable future for Montgomery County. The line would serve the town centers of Bethesda and Silver Spring, with stops in Prince George's County as well. It will tie together 4 metro lines and 3 MARC commuter lines. Councilmember George Leventhal has been a longtime advocate for the project.
This is not a county project, and it's important that people understand that. It's being planned, designed, and constructed by the state under what we hope will be a full funding agreement with the Fed. So we're providing input to the state. Most of the major decisions about placement of stations and the mode, it will be light rail, and where the light rail will run, it'll run on the master plan alignment, were made years ago and then confirmed last summer when Governor O'Malley announced the locally preferred alternative. So where there are still undetermined questions have to do with the placement of stations east of downtown Silver Spring. And that's not a settled question, and we'll be getting input from the public about that. Clearly there will be stations in downtown Bethesda, there will be a station on Littonsville Road, there will be a station at Connecticut Avenue, there will be a station in downtown Silver Spring. And then the question is, it's likely there will be a station in the Silver Spring Library. And then beyond that, it's not entirely clear. There's a possibility of a station at Dale Drive, there's a possibility of a station at Manchester Road, there's a possibility of a station in Long Branch at Arliss and Flower Avenue. The precise placement of those have not yet been determined, and that's where the county council's input will be most useful. But the ultimate decision will be made by the state.
It's estimated the Purple Line could cost close to $2 billion to build. However, officials say construction of the light rail is key to creating a livable, transit-oriented future for the county. Its expected ridership could reach as much as 65,000 daily within the first few years of operation.
My hope is that we could actually see a groundbreaking within the next 4 to 5 years. In order for that to happen, we need to get approval from the federal government. The Obama administration is very positive about mass transit, and this project scores very, very well on all of the mechanisms for measuring its competitiveness. So I'm very optimistic that the Obama administration would give the green light to this. I know that the O'Malley administration is very supportive of this. Of course, there's an election this year, and there's another one in 2012. So if you had officials in place who did not support the project, that would make a difference. There's many uncertainties ahead, but if all goes well, I believe we could break ground on the Purple Line in the next 4 to 5 years.
The Transportation and Environment Committee will hold work sessions on the Purple Line functional plan during July, with a vote from the full council at the end of the month. Well, that does it for this edition of the Council in Brief. For more information on the council's news, you can visit the website at montgomerycountymd.gov. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for joining us.